Hey man, let me ask you something. How many times have you talked yourself out of attraction? How many times have you been with a woman who was clearly interested and then you just kept talking, and somehow the more you said, the less she seemed to care? Today we're breaking down one of the most powerful truths about attraction that most guys completely miss. The secret isn't in what you say to her, it's in what you don't say. It's about becoming the kind of man who speaks through action, not words. See, most men think attraction is about conversation. They think they need to impress her with stories, compliments, or clever jokes. But here's what they don't realize. Every word you say after she's already interested is a risk. Every explanation is a chance to talk your way out of her attraction. The most magnetic men, they understand that mystery creates desire, that tension builds attraction, and that sometimes saying nothing says everything. You ever notice how some guys can sit quietly in a group and somehow become the most interesting person there? That's not accident, my guy. That's power. When you're not constantly filling the air with words, something happens. She starts wondering what you're thinking. She starts paying attention to your expressions, your body language, the way you react to things without saying a word. Here's the thing about women. They're naturally curious. But when you give them everything up front, when you explain every thought and feeling, you kill that curiosity. You remove the mystery that makes her want to know more. I had a friend who used to dominate every conversation. Funny guy, smart guy, but women would lose interest fast. Then he learned to pause, to let silence do the work. And suddenly, women started asking him questions. They started leaning in when he finally did speak. Because here's what most guys don't understand. Your words should be earned, not given freely. Let me tell you something that'll change how you think about attraction. A woman would rather see you do one meaningful thing than hear you promise 10. Most guys, when they like a woman, they start making promises. I'll take you here. I'll do this for you. I'm going to show you the best time. But attractive men, they just do. You don't tell her you're reliable. You show up when you say you will. You don't tell her you're confident. You make decisions without second-guessing yourself. You don't tell her you're different from other guys. You prove it through your behavior. And here's where it gets interesting. When your actions consistently match your character, she stops questioning your intentions. She starts trusting your presence instead of analyzing your words. Women have heard every line, every promise, every explanation. But a man who operates from authenticity, who lets his actions speak, that's rare. That commands respect. This one's crucial, so pay attention. When you stop trying to convince her of your worth, you give her room to discover it herself. Most guys, the moment they sense any distance, they panic. They start explaining, justifying, trying to pull her back with words. But attractive men do the opposite. They create more space, not because they don't care, but because they understand human psychology. People value what they have to work for. When you make yourself too available, too eager to fill every silence with reassurance, you remove her opportunity to miss you. Think about it like this. If you're constantly texting her, calling her, explaining your feelings, when does she get the chance to wonder about you? When does she get to experience the excitement of not knowing exactly where she stands? Here's what happens when you pull back slightly. She starts initiating. She starts asking questions. She starts investing in the connection because now she has space to breathe and realize what she might be losing. Here's something that separates average guys from magnetic ones. They read between the lines. They respond to what she's feeling, not just what she's saying. Women communicate on multiple levels. Sometimes she says she's fine when she clearly isn't. Sometimes she tests you with attitude to see how you'll react. Most guys take everything at face value and respond with more words, more explanations, more trying to fix things verbally. But attractive men, they read her energy and respond accordingly. If she's being playful, they match that energy without over-explaining the joke. If she's testing their boundaries, they hold firm without getting defensive. If she's feeling uncertain, they provide security through their presence, not their promises. This is about emotional intelligence. It's about being present enough to feel what's happening beneath the surface and secure enough to respond authentically without needing to control the outcome through words. The most attractive men understand that their energy speaks before they do. They walk into a room and their presence sets the tone. They don't need to announce their confidence. You feel it. They don't need to explain their standards. You see them. This is about internal alignment. When who you are matches how you show up, words become secondary. She's not analyzing what you said last night because she felt who you were when you were with her. And here's the beautiful part. When you stop trying to impress her with words, you start impressing her with your essence. Your calm in chaos, your certainty in uncertainty, your ability to be fully present without needing to fill every moment with noise. Women are attracted to men who are comfortable in their own skin, who don't need external validation to feel secure. And nothing demonstrates that like a man who can sit in comfortable silence, who can let moments breathe, who trusts that his presence is enough. Look, here's the psychology behind all of this. Attraction thrives on tension, mystery, and the unknown. When you explain everything, when you verbalize every feeling, when you constantly reassure and validate, you remove all three. But when you say less and do more, you create intrigue. She starts filling in the blanks with her imagination. And trust me, her imagination is working in your favor when your actions consistently demonstrate your character. This doesn't mean being cold or distant. It means being intentional with your words. It means letting your behavior do the talking. It means understanding that sometimes the most powerful thing you can say is nothing at all. So how do you start implementing this? First, catch yourself when you're about to over-explain or justify yourself. Pause. Ask yourself, is this necessary, or am I just filling silence because I'm uncomfortable? Second, start replacing words with actions. Instead of telling her you're thinking about her, do something thoughtful. Instead of explaining how much you care, show up consistently. Instead of promising change, just change. Third, get comfortable with mystery. You don't need to share every thought, every feeling, every plan. Let her discover your depths over time instead of dumping everything up front. Here's the truth, my guy. The right woman will be drawn to your authenticity, not your ability to convince her. She'll fall for your consistency, not your promises. She'll be attracted to your presence, not your presentations. Stop trying to talk your way into her heart and start living your way into her respect. Because at the end of the day, attraction isn't about what you say. It's about who you are when you're not saying anything at all. The most magnetic men understand this. Sometimes saying less says everything. So start speaking through your actions and watch how the world around you responds.